Actually, the worst thing you could possibly do to an American audience right now is lie to them for an hour, and that's what my show is. I mean, stand-up comedy, obviously we break the fourth wall, we talk to the audience, it's very chill. If people heckle us, we talk back. I think the fifth wall is like this secret guise between the audience and stand-ups, which is like a level of performativity, which hopefully the audience doesn't notice. Who is that? I think they got a good show that you should go see. Very gay. But I say that I do like multimedia stand-up comedy, but really I think my stuff is like, me as a stand-up in general, I try and make comedy for people who are addicted to scrolling on TikTok. I try and make that for the stage. So it's like super fast-paced, super meme-heavy, very internet-driven. But yeah, I've actually had quite a lot of oldies in. Like this theatre is obviously very, very fancy and very nice, and I do love the oldies as well. So I think it's accessible to them too, but I would say it's like a internet fever dream. Actually, it started because last year I did a show which I would say you could call like a Nanette show, right? It was a show about like some of my like personal trauma. And obviously like I'd recovered from it, I was making comedy about it, but the whole show was like entirely truthful. When I got to the Edinburgh Fringe, I had to lengthen it by 5 minutes to fit the slot I was in. I added this bit that wasn't true, right? It was just like, you know, it was exaggerated. It was like what we do in stand-up, right? You know, not letting details get in the way for the sake of a good story. And I like changed plot lines, I changed a character's name and stuff. And then it got me thinking, like, if I'm asking people to like empathize and believe in my trauma, but then this part isn't true, how do they know that I'm telling the truth about that? And then I really kind of went into this deep dive, thinking about that and comedy, and like, I guess because at the moment, a lot of comedians, especially in America, are like really speaking truth to power. And it kind of got me questioning, like obviously like Zelensky started as a comedian and now he's a politician. And like a lot of journalists are comedians and comedians are journalists, which is a crazy combination of things. Because I think obviously the stage is a place where we're allowed to exaggerate and we're allowed to, I guess you could, on the stage it's called acting, outside it's called lying. In a weird way, do you know what I mean? But I'm like, I really wanted to like unpack that and kind of unpack my own lies that I have told on stage and do the most honest show that I could, which was essentially telling the audience that I'd lie. I think American audiences are a lot more expressive, which is so fun as a comic. Like often I'll get, like, because obviously the show is about like pulling the rug on people, it's kind of like a magic trick. And I'll just get people being like, oh man, no way, which I'm like, I'm gonna reply, like, you know what I mean? Like it's so, they're not reserved at all, which feels like really exciting and it makes theatre feel live again. And in saying that, I think they're also, they crave hope in a way that audiences like across the pond, I find, haven't, which has been interesting doing this show about lying. Because obviously in Australia, it's kind of like, this show reads as like this kind of cynical meta-analysis of how much comedians lie, whereas over here it's like, actually the worst thing you could possibly do to an American audience right now is lie to them for an hour, and that's what my show is. And then getting here, I was like, oh my goodness. So I kind of did the first week, and then I changed it a bunch, because I was like, it wasn't failing, but I was like, it was reading in a really interesting way where I was like, I'm actually scaring people, which is not my intention for a comedy show. But then I was like, that's such a beautiful reaction because it means that they have a sense of trust in me, which is all we want as performers, right? I haven't seen a rat yet. And I do not know how. How? I actually think, maybe I'm like, I feel like I'm looking out for them as well. I've seen not a single rat and it's blowing my brain because I heard that the rats run this city. And I came here to check it out and now I kind of think it's a conspiracy. Not even like on a subway, like not even underground, not even like late at night, not around the bins. Come and see Breaking the Fifth Wall at Soho Playhouse until October 5th. Do not sleep on it. That is so soon. You better run. right now. I'll see you there. I'm already warming up. Where are you? On the subway? I hope so. I'll see you soon, baby.